शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। स्वरूपानुसंधानम श्लोक 5. In the last session was not recorded, unfortunately. My recording failed and there was no backup. And a few people missed last week's class. So I will summarize Shloka 5 once again. निषेधे कृते नेति नेतीति वाक्यैः समाधिस्थितानां यदा भाति पूर्णम् अवस्थात्रयातीतमद्वैतमेकं परं ब्रह्म नित्यं तदेवाहमस्मि। There are many ways of communicating Brahman. The Shruti employs various ways to communicate, to reveal the Brahman, which does not become the direct meaning of any word. One such ways is in the form of negation. Negation of everything. The Shruti negates everything by the statement neti neti. नेति नेतीति वाक्यैः निषेधे कृते. When everything is negated by the statements neti neti. Neti is na iti, na iti. Not this, not this. Implying the negation of everything. Then what remains? Something which cannot be negated. Nishedha avadhi. The culmination of negation. Just like when we destroy a building, even the tallest building what remains? The ground zero. Likewise, the negation of the universe culminates in something which cannot be negated, and that is the Chit, Chaitanya. The Chaitanya cannot be negated. The Chit cannot be negated because it is Nishedha Sakshi. It is the witness of negation. Likewise, the Sat also cannot be negated. The existence, Sat, also cannot be negated because it is the substratum of the universe which you are negating. Therefore, what remains after the negation is Sat and Chit. Sat is Chit. They are not two different things. Sat Chit. And the Sat Chit is Brahman. Yad abhati. Nishedhe krite yad abhati. The Brahman becomes evident, gets revealed on the negation of the universe. And to understand this teaching of the Shruti, one should have focus. Therefore, the Acharya said, Samadhisthithanam, for people with the focused mind. Without focus, one cannot do Shravana efficiently. Even as I am speaking this, some people might be doing some other work and listening. Somebody might be cooking and listening. I am unable to stop such things. Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know. I am unable to stop. It is not Shravana. Something enters, something doesn't enter. I don't know what they understand. I don't know. So it is not Shravana. Just some words enter the ears. That's all. Therefore, Samadhisthitana, one should focus consistently. In fact, the Shastra is not meant for us to agree or disagree with it. . It is not meant for casually listening and agree with some part that I like and disagree with the rest of the part. The Shastra is not meant for that. One has to approach the Shastra with great Shraddha. When I have Shraddha, I do not disagree with the Shastra. There may be points where I may feel a conflict. Where I feel a contradiction. Yet, I do not dismiss the Shastra. Instead, I say, I am not understanding it properly. I may not have understood it properly. Therefore, let me make better effort to understand what the Guru is telling or what the Shastra is telling. The Shastra is meant for understanding. And to understand the Shastra, I have to make effort. Therefore, don't make this Vedanta a casual listening. People listen to news channels, entertainment channels. Vedanta is not meant for a casual listening. That is why I kept sending some messages once in a while. Please follow proper decorum while listening to these sessions. In fact, I was very averse to teach Vedanta online. That is why until lockdown, I never taught Vedanta online. Only after a few weeks of this present situation, I had no other go, as it was getting prolonged and prolonged. Then I had to take to online, because I don't want to do a disservice to the Shastra. The Shastra is sacred. The Shastra is Shabda Brahma. It is Brahman in the form of words. Ishvara in the form of words. That is why we should approach it with the proper Shraddha and Bhakti. Don't make it a casual listening. Samadhisthitana, people who are focused. Abhati, the Brahman gets revealed. Purnam, the Brahman is Purnam, absolutely complete. There is no Apurnata, there is no Vaikalya. in Brahman, being free from all limitations. Avasthatrayatitam. It transcends the three avasthas, Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti. Advaitam, without a second. There is no duality in Brahman. Ekameva advitiyam. Advaitam ekam. Ekam advaitam. One without a second. These two words together rule out all forms of bheda. Sajatiya bheda, Vijatiya bheda and Swagata bheda. Param Brahma Nityam Tadevahamasmi. We have seen this shloka in great detail. What we saw in 1 hour, I have summed up now, just to keep the continuity intact. Let's go to the next shloka. Yadanandaleshai samanandi vishvam yada bhati sattve tada bhati sarvam yada lokane rupamanyat samastam param brahma nityanta devahamasmi. Yadanandaleshaihi samanandi vishvam. The ananda, the happiness that people experience, the happiness that is familiar to people in general. What kind of happiness is familiar to us? The happiness in eating rasgulla, the happiness in eating gulab jamun, it is familiar to us. It is called Vishaya Sukha. The happiness that is familiar to people is Vishaya Sukha. The happiness that you derive through sense objects. We generally consider the sense objects, the Vishaya, as a source of happiness. But the Shastra says it is not true. Every happiness that anybody experiences anywhere in the world is just a fraction of the Brahmananda. Because there is only one Ananda. Only one Ananda. It is Brahman. There is no Ananda outside Brahman. Even the Vishaya Sukha is a fraction of Brahmananda. एतस्यैवानन्दस्य अन्यानि भूतानि मात्राम् उपजीवन्ति। एतस्य एव आनन्दस्य, the Brahmananda, अन्यानि भूतानि, all other beings, matram upajivanti, they get a fraction of Brahmananda. Even if you consider the Vishaya Sukha, what is the true source of happiness? The sense object. Is it really the source of happiness? If Vishaya Sukha, if Vishaya is a source of happiness, it has to follow a particular Anvaya Vyatireka. We have a logic to determine whether a particular thing is a source of another thing or not. Vishaya Sattve Sukha Sattvam. If sense object is present, happiness is present. This is Anvaya. The correlation of the presence of two. Vishaya Abhave Sukha Bhavaha. In the absence of sense object, there is no Sukha. There is no pleasure. There is no happiness. It is called Vyatireka. Vishaya Sattve Sukha Sattvam. Vishaya Bhave Sukha Bhavaha. Vishaya Sattve Sukha Sattvam is Anvaya. And Vishaya Bhave Sukha Bhavaha, the correlation of the absence of two, is called Vyatireka. If these two hold good, then we could have concluded that the sense object Vishaya is the source of happiness. But do they really hold good? Vishaya Sattve Sukha Sattvam. Is it really true? It is not true. Even if there is a sense object, sometimes you may not get Sukha. There is a Rasgulla, I am not happy. It is possible. Vishaya Sattve Sukha Sattvam is not always true. There is Anvaya Vyabhichara. It is called Anvaya Vyabhichara. The positive relation of the two. A relation of the presence of the two varies sometimes. It is called Anvaya Vyabhichara. Even in the presence of Vishaya, Sukha is not there. It is possible. Likewise, there is a Vyatireka Vyabhichara. Vishaya Bhave Sukha Bhavaha. Even this is not always true. Even in the absence of Vishaya, Even in the absence of the sense object, you may be happy sometimes. Especially we have experienced that during this lockdown. People are not able to go out, yet they can stay home happily. Vishayabhave sukha sattvam. It happens. Therefore, Vishaya is not the source of happiness. Some people give an example. A dog chews a bone. While chewing a bone, there is no blood in the bone. It's just a dry bone. When the dog chews the bone, because of the hardness of the bone, the dog's mouth starts bleeding. The gums start bleeding. Then the dog thinks that it is getting blood from the bone, and the blood is tasty. The dog keeps on chewing the bone and sucks its own blood. The dog thinks the bone is giving it blood. Not a very good example. Likewise, even the people think that the sense objects contain happiness. But where is the happiness coming from? It is not coming from outside. It is coming from within. Your own Swarupa, Brahman. Once in a while it expresses in your Anandamaya Kosha. A particular vritti arises in the Anandamaya Kosha, and then a fraction of the Ananda reflects for a while, and we think the object is giving me happiness. Therefore, the wisdom lies in finding the true source of happiness. When you find the true source of happiness, you don't have to rely on the momentary fractions of happiness. You get all happiness. Purna Ananda. Sada Ananda. Shashwata Sukha. Any other Ananda that we get in life, it is only a fraction. Whether it is my happiness or the richest man's happiness in the world, whether it is a President of America or Bill Gates or Ambani, all happiness is a fraction. My happiness is one fraction, his happiness is another fraction. and I seek for another fraction of happiness. I want to become like him. I want a greater fraction. Whether it is a lesser fraction or a greater fraction, it is just a fraction. And the problem here, one more problem here, is called Ayaugapadya. It is called Ayaugapadya. I cannot have all the happiness simultaneously. While I am enjoying one fraction of happiness, I cannot enjoy another fraction. Suppose I want to enjoy the happiness of the richest man in the world. I cannot enjoy the happiness of the richest woman in the world. There are 33 people in front of me. I compare myself to all of you. This lady who is sitting in a farm near Bombay, in a place called Karjat, she must be very happy woman. She has a farm of her own, a farmhouse of her own, and she is enjoying there. And sitting there, she is enjoying the session also. I compare myself with her. I say I want her happiness. Then I see another lady, another gentleman. He is sitting in the comfort of his house in Bangalore with his wife and listening to my session. Then I say I want his happiness. He is very happy. Retired person, nothing to worry. Children and grandchildren are there in US. I want to be like him. So I can keep on looking at 32 pictures here. But the problem is, if I want to enjoy this gentleman's happiness, I cannot enjoy this lady's happiness. If at all I become like this gentleman, or if I become like this lady, a farm near Bombay, I cannot enjoy the happiness of this gentleman. I cannot enjoy them simultaneously at least. Maybe one after another I might be able to enjoy. In one Janma I want to become like this lady. In another Janma I will become like this gentleman. So my happiness is just one fraction, limited. It is called Ayaugapadya. But suppose I want to enjoy all the happiness at one go. How to do it? The Shruti says, you understand Brahman. Brahmajnana is the only way. That is why Taittiriya Upanishad says, Soshnote sarvan kaman saha brahmana vipashchiteti. Soshnote sarvan kaman saha. A Brahmajnani enjoys all happiness at once. Because all happiness, every fraction of happiness that everybody enjoys in the world is in Brahman. Whether it is Bill Gates' happiness, or whether it is Bill Clinton's happiness, whether it is Modi's happiness, all happiness is in Brahman. Therefore, the moment you become Brahman, you have all the fractions. You have become Sarva, everything. The Brahman is Sarva. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Therefore, it includes everybody's happiness. Then you don't seek to get a particular fraction of happiness. That is the satisfaction that a Brahmajnani enjoys. In fact, even this can be a meditation. I am Brahman, therefore everybody's happiness, everybody's satisfaction is included in me. I being the Sarva, I being the Atma of everyone, everybody's happiness is included in me. Yadanandaleshaihi samanandi vishwam. Vishwam, the universe, all the people in the world. Yad anandaleshaihi, by a fraction, by fractions of the Brahmananda, samanandi, they become anandi. They get ananda. Rasagyhyevayam labdhvanandi bhavati. Taittiriya Upanishad says, getting a fraction of Brahmananda, rasa, raso vaisaha. The Brahmananda is rasa. Brahman is called rasa. Rasa means ananda. Getting the rasa of Brahman, people become anandi once in a while. Vishwam samanandi. The world becomes anandi. The world becomes happy by receiving a fraction of Brahmananda. Yadabhana satya, yadabhati satve, tadabhati sarvam. I hope this is the reading you have. In fact, this is the reading that we see generally. But then there was a Swamiji in Karnataka called Satchidanandendra Saraswati, a great scholar who has written many books on Vedanta. In fact, I refer to his book in Kannada. Most of his writings are in Kannada. So, he has made a footnote. He says, instead of yad abhati sattve, he suggests a better reading, yad abhana sattve. Yad abhana sattve is a better reading. Yadabhana Sattve, in the presence of the Chaitanya, in the presence of the Brahma Chaitanya, Sarvam Abhati, everything becomes evident, everything gets illumined. The universe becomes evident because of the Brahman. It is the light of light, as I keep telling. No object in the universe can become evident without Brahman. Therefore, the same thing is extended in the next line. Yad alokane rupam anyat samastam. Anyat samastam. Everything else. Referring to the objects. Everything other than Brahman. Yad alokane rupam. It is rupa, means object of the consciousness of Brahman. Yad alokane, for whose consciousness everything else is object. In other words, Brahman is the illuminer and the universe is illumined. Illuminer, illumined relation between Brahman and the Jagat. Based on this, we can draw a few corollaries. Number one, the illuminer is not affected by the illumined. The Jagat being illumined, it does not affect the Brahman. Just like the light, the sunlight illumines the water of Ganga as well as the ditch water. The same sun reflects in the water of Ganga as well as in the ditch water. It not only illumines, it reflects also. But is the sun affected? It is not affected. Okay, there is another reading. Yadalochite heyamanyat samastam. Yeah. There are 2-3 other readings. Yeah. We will stick to one. So yadalochite heyamanyat samastam. It is another reading. So if that is the reading, then the meaning will be yadalochite, when the Brahman is understood, yad jnate sati, yasmin jnate sati, anyat samastam heyam, everything else becomes heya, everything else becomes rejectable. everything else becomes rejectable. Heya means rejectable. You don't see any value in anything else. Once you understand, once you recognize the Brahman, that is another reading. It's also okay. Okay, that is it is the reading of this third line. Means yadalokane rupamanyat samastam is one reading, and yadalochite heyamanyat samastam is another reading. Both are okay. So, we are looking at this reading, yadalokane rupamanyat samastam. So, illumined relation between Brahman and Jagat. The illuminer is not affected by the illumined. This is one corollary. Then corollary number 2. The illumined does not exist independent of the illuminer. The illumined does not exist independent of the illuminer. Therefore, the illumined has a dependent existence. Therefore, the illumined deserves to be mithya. Therefore, the Jagat, being illumined, it deserves to be mithya. It is another extended conclusion that we can arrive at. So, the Brahman, being the illuminer, it is the all-pervasive reality, the all-pervasive Chaitanya, Param Brahma Nityam Tadevahamasmi. I am that Brahman which is Param and Nityam. Shloka 7. Anantam mahannirvikalpam niriham Shivam sangahinam yadonkaragamyam Nirakaramathyujvalam mrityuhinam Param brahma nityanta devahamasmi. Anantam. Not much explanation is needed. It is Anantam, free from all limitations. Mahat, big, great. Anantatvat Mahat. Since it is free from limitation, it is very big. There is nothing to limit it. Nothing to limit the bigness. Nothing to make it small. If it has any limitation, it becomes small. If there is nothing to limit, it cannot be small in any way. Therefore, Mahat. Nirvikalpam, an interesting word. Nirvikalpam. Vikalpa. The word vikalpa has many meanings. One meaning is option. It is generally used in our language. Option. What is your vikalpa? Means what are your options? There should not be any vikalpa in sankalpa, they say sometimes. When you have a sankalpa, a decision, do not make any vikalpa. Do not consider this option or other option. Do not waver. संकल्प में विकल्प नहीं होना चाहिए. So vikalpa means options. Either this or that is vikalpa. In some actions, there can be vikalpa. In actions, there can be vikalpa. What I should do after 20 minutes, whether I should keep sitting here or whether I should get up and go, I have vikalpa. I have option. Kriyayam vikalpaha. In kriya, in action, I have options. And it is true even with the actions that are enjoined in karma kanda. We have the karma kanda section of Vedas. So many karmas are enjoined. And in certain karmas, you have option. Whether to do it or not. You have option. And if you are doing, how you should do it. You have options. Shankaracharya says, Kartum akartum anyatha va kartum shakyate. If you want, you can do it. Akartum shakyate. If you don't want, you don't do it. Or anyatha va kartum shakyate. Or you can do it differently. So karmani kriyayam vikalpaha asti. But when it comes to Brahman, Brahman is a vastu, a reality. Not a reality, the reality. In vastu, there is no vikalpa. It cannot be either this way or that way. Either this or that is vikalpa. Brahman cannot be either this or that. Vastuni vikalpa bhavaha. It is only ekarupa. It has no two natures. You cannot say it is either existing or non-existing. Either sat or asat. Not possible. It is just sat. Either chit or jada, not possible. It is just chit, pure chit, no jada. You cannot say either ananda or dukkha. It is pure ananda. There is no vikalpa in Brahman. That is one meaning of nirvikalpa. Ekarupaha ityartha. There is another meaning of vikalpa. Viparitatvena kalpitaha vikalpa. Something which is superimposed something which is imagined differently. In other words, superimposed, aropita. Vikalpa means aropita. In fact, the Jagat is a vikalpa. The whole universe is a vikalpa because it is superimposed on Brahman. Even the Jivatva is vikalpa because it is superimposed on Brahman. Jagat Jiva Bheda. The duality of Jagat and Jiva. And when we talk about Jagat and Jiva, there is Ishvara also. Jiva Jagat Ishvara Bheda. This is superimposed on Brahman. Maya Kalpita. The true nature of Brahman is free from Jiva Jagat Ishvara Bheda. Therefore, Nirvikalpaha. Nirvikalpam. So, Nirvikalpam, Niriham, Nishkriyam ityartha. Free from actions. No actions. Shivam, auspicious, Mangala, Sangahinam, free from all associations, free from all relations. Asangaha ityartha. Omkaragamyam. It is the meaning of Omkara. Omkara. Om is the closest name of Brahman. Tasya nedishtham nama. The best name for Brahman is Omkara. In Shastras, Omkara is enjoined, suggested as a way to meditate on Brahman. You chant Om and meditate on Brahman. प्रणवो धनुषरो ह्यात्मा ब्रह्म तल्लक्ष्यमुच्यते. Mundakopanishad. The Mundakopanishad compares Omkara to a bow. Pranavo Dhanuhu. Pranava means Omkara. Omkara is compared to a bow. Sharo Hyatma. Brahma Tallakshamuchyate. Shara. The arrow is the Jivatma. And Brahman is the Lakshya, the target. The Jivatma arrow is fixed in the Brahman target with the help of the Omkara bow. It is a beautiful imagery. With the help of Omkara, meditating with the help of Omkara, you abide in Brahman. A beautiful way of meditating. A beautiful mantra. In the Shastras, we find glorification of Omkar. Therefore, Omkara Gamyam, Nirakaram, free from all forms, Atyujvalam, very effulgent, Mrityuhinam, free from death, free from destruction, Param Brahma Nityam Tadevahamasmi. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Yeah. Namaste, 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 Namaste. Om. Yeah. Namaste. Yeah.